Hi everybody, welcome to Friendship Shaving for a shave with a Shavette style razor. If you've never used a Shavette razor before and you would like to know a little bit more about them, I have a series where I'll be shaving with different styles of Shavette razors. I'll explain more about them as I go along. But the one I have today is an Italian made Shavette called Slim Al. It is entirely made from aluminium, hence the name Al, and this one will take a half blade, and you can buy them already cut, and I have one of those in here today, or you can break in half a blade and put this into your razor. It clips together with the blade in place like that, and we'll just put the blade in so that I can show you. The blade matches up to these notches and very nicely clips in place, and this one is in the style of a traditional straight razor. As I say, Italian made, so today we are having an Italian shave. I already have some pre-shave on my face and I'm using Proraso white pre-shave as I usually do, and I'm going to be using today the Proraso white shaving soap. This is a very pleasant soap. I've got some all ready to go on my brush. The colour red for Red Ferrari, seeing as it's an Italian shave. The Proraso is a very easy soap to use. It's inexpensive and it is a soft soap. And I settled upon this as a beginner and I've kept some in my den since that day. It's very easy to use. If you've never used shaving soap and a shaving brush before, this will allow you to easily make a lather. And as you can see, I've got a very nice lather today. It's going to work very well with this Shavette razor. I've got a crown blade in there today. You can see this is a saloon pack of already cut half blades for this razor. Now with any new razor there is a learning curve, and I am no different to that. So I think used this type of Shavette that takes a half blade once before, and so this will be a relatively new experience for me. Perhaps you can see the angle of the head there comes down towards the blade in an attempt to help you out as the shaver, to help you get the right angle. Now I'm just going to drain my water because I will run the tap to wash the blade off. We'll just make that nice and wet, and I will take my glasses off to start and look in the big mirror down here. And I'll just do that on both sides. Then I can put my glasses on and we'll be ready to go. There we are, glasses on now. You can see I've got a nice lather. It's washing off the blade very easily. It was a German company that first came up with the idea of a Shavette Dovo from Germany. And their original razor was called the Shavette. Nowadays it refers to any style of razor that is able to take a replacement blade, and there are quite a few different blades available for different razors. It is a very different way of shaving from a cartridge razor or a safety razor. But a Shavette will allow you to get the idea of using a straight razor or a cutthroat razor without having to learn about sharpening your blade. And of course, if you go to a barber where they offer a shaving service, it will be a Shavette that they use, because nowadays, with health and safety, they have to throw away the blade after each customer. It's not enough just to wash it anymore in that blue liquid that you often see at the barber side. It's important to get a good stretch on your skin. Now, I used this the other day and I got myself just there. Of course, with a safety razor, you've got a guard on the razor that stretches the skin before the blade comes along. Of course, you haven't got one on this style of razor, so you have to stretch the skin yourself. And I'm sure I've done so, certainly in other videos, but I'd just like to thank Mark Davis again for being kind enough to donate the Razettes that I'm going to be, the Razettes, that's a new name, the Shavettes that I'm going to be using to the channel, to me, so I can do this series of videos. Now, this is a razor that, unless you're used to using it, I wouldn't go about this if you're in a hurry to go anywhere. Perhaps save this one for a weekend if you're new to it, or if you've never used one like this before, just so you can take a little bit more time. There we are, first pass. That was nice and easy. It's a nice neutral weight on this razor. It is made from a single piece of aluminium. Of course the weight depends, you know, where you hold the razor, but being aluminium, it is certainly not a heavy razor. Comes in a variety of colours too. It won't stand that way. We'll have to close it and put it down like that. Now I didn't get as close as I would like on that first pass, but I stress that is a fault of myself rather than any fault in the razor per se. I've got my brush scuttle up there, completely forgot to put my brush in, so we will do that for this pass. It's been warming up. It's lovely, this soap, just simple, inexpensive, variety of scents and matching aftershaves. When I first started shaving, I went through 2 pots of this and one of the old palm olive shaving sticks before I even thought about getting anything else to use. I thought this Proraso soap at the time, you know, getting into using a shaving brush for the first time, I thought it was a revelation, because it allowed me just to create a lather easily and get used to doing that with a soap that wasn't difficult to lather up, given that I was inexperienced. Now, it is very important, and I know you will all know this, but not to slice yourself with the blade. So if you're new to using this type of razor, be careful to make sure you only go in this sort of direction rather than turning the blade and allowing it to slice you. They do take a bit of care, but you soon get used to it. Oh, I forgot again. Let's put that brush in my little scuttle there. This is the bit I find a little bit challenging with the Shavette style of razor, just because the skin is more loose, so it's important to stretch up here on the top lip. The tongue works better there, doesn't it, over the teeth. Just to flatten that, area. If I do that and blow air in, it creates even more of a ridge here on my chin. But the tongue kind of flattens that quite nicely, and that's what we're seeking to do, of course, is to create a nice flat area for the blade to move across. It may not look it, but I'm finding this to be an interesting challenge today. As I say, with every new razor, there is a certain learning curve, and that's why sometimes you watch experienced shavers on channels like mine pick up a razor and just nick themselves with it. It happens to everybody, but especially when you pick up a new razor or one that you've not used for a long time. Now, let's see what this has done. Oh, it is warm. I haven't got enough water in there, I don't think. It's not as warm as it was the other day. Now, I'm doing that, and I don't need to because I've got absolutely loads in my bowl here. I am planning a lathering tutorial. I'm going to do it with a couple of brushes and show you a couple of different ways in the one video, I think. So I just need to plan that out a little bit more, and we'll get that out to you. Now, I can tell you, with this Shavette, I can feel that I'm not using a safety razor. It does feel different. It feels a closer shave on the skin for me. Now, there are a few different ways of holding the razor. I like to hold mine like this and swap hands to do the other side, and I would recommend you do that even if you're right hand or left hand dominant. It just helps you to learn and will help you if you use another different type of razor, your safety razor for example. I actually find I'm better with my left hand, even though I'm very right hand dominant, which is a strange thing indeed. Now I'm going to go against the grain on my neck now. I've just got a nice angle there. That's what takes the time, I think. Just now, that was close. I nearly caught myself there. I wasn't stretching enough, and it was just on that curve. The blade went under a few stiff hairs. because my neck is getting a little bit dry. So we'll keep adding lots of water to the blade. Perhaps you can hear a noise, it's this on my hand. That's much better, getting a good stretch on. There we are, that's better. Some people prefer to use their razor with this sort of a hold. I find that a little bit difficult and a little bit strange. But each to their own. I was just wondering if I'd nicked myself there. One does have to be careful putting the blades in with this type of razor, and indeed rinsing the blades if you take it out. Because it is a half blade, as I've said. You don't have as much room to play with, and I caught my thumb. So on the first pass, I kind of came in at the sides and went down. Second pass, I went outwards from the middle. So this one will come in from the side. And go across to the middle. If you use a Shavette, if you think I'd like to have a go at that, and you find one that you like to look at, or you like the look of, sorry, you will get quite a large sense of, what's the word I'm looking for? You'll likely get a feeling of satisfaction from completing a shave with a blade that you're not used to. And it's a very good shave. couple of bits on my neck, the usual spots that I find awkward, are actually a little more awkward with a Shavette or a straight style razor because you haven't got the manoeuvrability of a safety razor. Where, and I've got one here, I've got my Parker injector where you can just, you know, change angles and move it all around the place. It's a little more difficult with this type of razor. For example, let's say your hair grows down this line that way and you want to shave against the grain that way. So you would have to learn to, and it's really quite difficult for me. Can't do it with that hand and with this hand, so I tend to find workarounds. But all in all, I've had a very good shave, especially here. There is just a little bit there that I could do again. I'm not worried about that. If you are worried about that, you could maybe use your safety razor just to take those off while you're learning and while you're practicing. But all in all, that was a very enjoyable shave. It really made me think during that shave what I was doing rather than just going into a sort of automatic shave mode. Now I'm going to be using the aftershave splash from the Proraso green range. Mix and match that with my Proraso white pre-shave and soap. This is eucalyptus and menthol, and if you've not tried it, it's one of the best aftershaves on the planet. A little bit of sting, so I can tell I had a very close, nice shave. And that gentleman, look, it even matches with the green razor. I mean, what more do you want, really? That is the Focus Slim Al aluminium razor made in Italy. Thanks for joining me for my shave today, and we'll have another Shavette style shave next Monday. Take care guys, talk to you soon. Bye bye now.